Ooh, we are back for another Monday here at the Eagles Nest podcast. I'm Vince Devall with the Eagles Homes team and Caldwell Banker Realty,
And I'm Brad Brewer, his frequent co-host when Vince is not on vacation.
which is a lot, let's be honest.
With Jeff. We are joined today. Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Masters weekend. I know Vince and I like to talk golf. We'll put the Masters off to next week since we've got a guest today. Our guest today is Richie. He is Richard, but he goes to Richie LePine.
Yeah, don't screw that up.
Our youngest team member, I believe, correct?
Definitely, yeah.
By a little bit, at least.
Yes.
I believe Steven's actually the second youngest.
I think so.
Like,
Yeah.
how many years does he have you by?
I think he's 31, so he's got me. I turned 24 in a couple of days. So
Oh, jeez.
So yes, we do hire children.
Yeah.
Just kidding, of course. So we're gonna talk to Richie today, about life and real estate with him. We're gonna get a little bit personal. We're even gonna let him ask us a question. It better be good. No pressure. Just kidding. You have like 30 minutes to think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, this
All
is
right.
only 30 minutes. I don't think
Yeah.
we prepped Steven for that either. I don't remember if we did or not.
It didn't matter.
Yeah, it
He rolled with it.
So, Richie, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's what brings you to real estate? Where are you from? Life goals, all that good crap. And then we'll dig in.
yeah, so I'm gonna be 24 here in a couple of days.
Oh shit, what?
April 17th, so this Wednesday.
All right.
Yeah, coming up. So I was born and raised in Waterford, Wisconsin, and I went to the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh. Went there for 3 years, graduated with a degree in economics. Decided to move back home after graduation and get into real estate. So
straight out of college, got into real estate.
yeah, straight out of college. In my last semester, I decided to take the real estate license class.
Okay, while you're still at school?
Yeah,
Oh, great.
on the weekends, which it kind of gave me an excuse to not go out and drink every weekend. So it was good for me.
He's so smart.
Unlike some of us.
Yeah, but it helped me focus on the weekends, and I took the test like 2 days after graduation. I think I graduated on Saturday, and then I took it on Tuesday, passed it, and then joined a firm up in Elm Grove to start. And yeah, I've been in the business now for coming up on 2 years since I graduated in 2022.
That's awesome. So you spent all this money to get an economics degree and you're like, yeah, screw it, moving on.
Yeah, exactly. So I had an internship at Pierce Manufacturing up in Appleton
Good.
for like a year, and it was like a desk job.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I would literally rather die than sit at a desk for 40 years.
He's young and he's dramatic, ladies and gentlemen. He'd rather die than sit at a desk job. For all those you out there with desk jobs, hope you're okay.
Yeah, no offense to anybody with a desk job. My mom has one.
I'm
So
just giving you a hard time, Richie.
yeah,
We understand.
yeah. So I decided to go kind of the entrepreneurial path, and kind of get into real estate and try to sell houses. So
It's a good idea. I think that was very smart of you.
Yeah,
And
be your own boss. I love it.
exactly. Now I'm gonna go back to a little bit of a personal question real quick. Being a young, strapping young man like yourself, do we have a special lady in our life yet?
I do not.
Dang, just do. So everyone, take note. Richie is single. His number will be attached to this
Yes.
this podcast when we are finished and we post it.
You're talking to a guy here, I mean, this is a catch, economics degree. He will use it in real estate, actually, it does come in handy.
It does.
Also, he is a licensed real estate agent, which, he's gonna help you shop for that home if you're with this man.
That's true.
It saves some money on closing costs.
Yep,
There you go. I love the little plug. It's like, I'll find a way to save you money.
exactly. And what else?
So what do you do in your free time, Richie? Like you obviously spent your last semester at college not partying, not drinking,
Not having
Okay.
a girlfriend.
not having a girlfriend, being a homebody. Well, he didn't say he didn't. But kind of. So what do you do in your free time now?
Yeah, so I like to work out a lot. I do a lot of different things. I like to lift weights. I actually lift weights with one of our other team members, missing the workout this morning. Just doing some legs this morning. I'm happy I'm missing that. So,
This.
yeah, and then I also I don't like to run. I do run, but I don't necessarily like it. It's just a good way to challenge myself, and I also like to play some basketball.
And you have an event coming up here, right? When's this big event you're going to be participating in?
Yeah, so I got a half marathon coming up this upcoming Saturday.
All right.
I actually ran 10 miles yesterday. Still feeling in my legs a little bit, but yeah, I ran a full marathon last November, and it was just a great way to challenge myself and kind of have a goal in mind. I always like having goals set, just something to work towards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, looking forward to another
Those-
challenge.
By the way, for those non-marathon experts in the room or out there, what's the difference between a half and a full?
It's
I don't know.
A
I have
lot of
no
miles.
clue. Besides a lot of miles.
it's a
Can you get
different
more
beast.
specific, please?
Yeah, it's a different beast. So the half marathon's 13.1.
Okay,
And then the full is 26.2. And actually during my full marathon, I'm in the first half, I'm like, oh my God, this is so easy. This is gonna be easy. And like 18 miles in, I hit a wall and I'm like, there's no way I'm finishing this.
Wow.
And it just it taught me a lot. So just pushing through, persevering. And
I love
stuff.
if I made it past 5 alive, I'd be impressed.
Right? Anytime someone asks me to run a 5K, I'm like, you mean walk part of a 5K? Yeah, we can do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
Not
can
a problem.
walk a long time, but running part, no. Anyway, all right, I guess, anything else, personally you want to share about yourself?
No. I've got a family. My mom and dad, I still live at home. No shame in that. as
There's
a young-
not. Save that money, buy a
Yeah.
house.
For
Done.
sure.
Yeah, you got plenty of time, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I'd ask him what he did before real estate, but we already know.
It was
'cause
college.
Basically college and being a teenager,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so much,
exactly.
yeah, covered that, awesome.
So what drove you to real estate? I mean, I was it like just you woke up one morning, you said, screw economics, I want to be a real estate agent, or did you know somebody that was doing it? What drove you to be a real estate agent?
Yeah, so my cousin, who I actually joined the firm that he was with, he got his license like 6 months before me. He's actually not in the business anymore, but shout out Matthew if he's listening. Yeah, I saw he was in it and I joined the group that he was in. And like I said, I kind of was into the entrepreneurial path. I kind of just wanted to work for myself, like you said. I read a bunch of books and, yeah, I just
He
decided.
reads too, that's pretty sweet.
I mean, can we get the guy on The Bachelor?
Yeah, we could try.
I mean, they're doing Bachelorette next, maybe you sign up for that, and if you don't get
Yeah.
the girl, they'll pick you to be the next Bachelor, I don't know, I think that's how that works.
There was a guy from Waukesha on The Bachelor, right?
I think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
This, sorry. I saw it come across and I'm laughing, like, they had the Golden Bachelor.
Yeah, they're getting
They're
divorced.
getting divorced already,
What the hell?
like,
Not even 6 months in.
first successful, like, Golden Bachelor, it is successful. Cause I think only 2 bachelors have been successful.
Yeah,
The
no
first
idea.
bachelorette got married, she's still married to this day. I think only like 2 bachelors have gotten married. If I may be wrong, I don't watch the show that much. I
Yeah,
watched
I know.
this season with my wife because there's something caught my attention and I had to pay attention. We'll just leave it at that. Anyway.
So
Yeah.
your buddy Matthew Brett just went on a totally different tangent. Like,
You're like
I
talking.
just thought that was hilarious because they're like, oh, so in love.
well, I don't know if you heard why they're getting separated. It's because they both decided they didn't want to leave their families in the cities that they're from. Like, how is that not a conversation early on
Yeah,
in the
Right,
relationship?
before you actually get married.
Yeah, like, hey, who's moving where?
I-
Well,
I'll
I'm not
tell-
moving. You're not moving.
Hold on, I'll tell you why real quick. This is sum this up. You then just did you're gonna get paid to get married.
Yep,
They didn't pay for a nickel of that wedding. I'm sure they got paid for it. So
that's true.
that's why you do it. Anyway,
So your buddy Matthew, your cousin, right? Matthew got, he got you interested in real estate. What was it besides just being an entrepreneur that kind of caught your attention? I mean, yeah, because if you tell me it was he didn't work real hard, I'd call bullshit. Maybe he didn't, maybe people just flocked to him. I don't know. But besides him doing it, what else caught your attention in real estate?
Yeah, I kind of thought it was just, it's a good way to make money.
Right.
So, people are really successful as real estate agents and in just real estate in general. So that kind of drew me into it. Plus just being able to help people out. I've always liked really helping people, connecting with people, getting to know people. So that kind of fits well in real estate as well.
It does. It really does. Like, gosh, if you if you're not a people person in this business, you are screwed, right? Like if you cannot find a way to connect with them, you guys may have nothing in common, but you darn better find a way to connect with them. Maybe location, family, friends, interests, whatever it is. So if you can't, it's going to be really hard to keep that relationship, right? Um, so yeah, that's awesome. What do you think's your favorite client?
My favorite client is probably first time home buyers, I would say,
That is the trend. I like it. Why?
because it's it's obviously a really stressful time for people like buying their first house and being able to like put them at ease, help them through the writing and offer process, working through trying to find exactly what they're looking for. I think it's really cool. So yeah, if I could work with more first time home buyers, that would be awesome.
It's interesting though, even though it's not everybody, you know, we answered that question we asked Steven last week. And a lot of other agents I talk to, even if it's not their absolute favorite, it's always one of the first.
Yeah.
Or it's one of the ones they like. And I think it just has to do with, like any career you do, you want to feel appreciated, you want to feel like you're doing a good job. And I think the first time home buyers out there, so kudos to all you that have been and will be. You're just they're the ones that always just tend to really show that appreciation.
Yeah.
I think that's what has to do it. That's my guess. I mean, everybody's always, respect, reward, recognition, right? And
Right.
it's a recognition from you that someone's like really appreciate what you did for them. Because it's a tough job. In fact, my next question. What's the toughest part about this job?
Having to work every day.
Okay,
Real estate never sleeps.
I'm gonna make you elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Tell me what that means.
Yeah, so there's always something going on. Like there's always new leads coming in. There's always people that are looking to see places. There's always people with questions. So you always got to keep your phone on and you always have to be available, which it's nice because I don't mind working hard as long as I can find people what they're looking for. So
And I think before we started the podcast, you talked about it a little bit, but it's finding that separation from, work, that work-life balance. I know you like to work out in the morning, you play basketball, but what do you do? Like, how do you separate that work-life balance? What are you doing to kind of put your mind at rest? Because you're right, this is a 24/7 job. Everyone's like, oh, you just made XYZ on this one deal. And you're like, you also don't realize that I just spent 200 hours with this client making XYZ, right? Like,
yeah.
People just don't see the full picture. So, but what do you do to separate your work-life balance? Like, is there a time that you like, hey, 8 o'clock at night, I'm done? And I know that's BS because I saw messages from you at like 10:30 last night. But
Yeah, I couldn't fall asleep last night.
What do you do? What do you do to kind of separate that work-life balance?
Yeah, so obviously yesterday wasn't one of those days, but I'd like to sometimes when there's not an active client that I'm working with, I like to just put my phone in do not disturb and then just throw it away, turn on the TV and just unplug.
Yeah.
I think that's important too. I think it's just as important as actually working is unplugging because you get that mental refresh, you get the break, you can breathe a little bit, which I like those quiet times. So
I think I'm gonna help you with this since I'm the old veteran in the room, mostly just old. I coined a phrase with my wife several years ago that I said, especially in my line of work, our line of work, it's you get hours off, you don't necessarily get days off. So it's also within each hours of the day, there's parts of the days that you're gonna get to yourself. We say 24/7, but think of the majority of clients. When are the majority of clients reaching out to you? Probably somewhere between the hours of 10 and 8. So there are clients out there that they actually feel bad when they reach out to you past a certain time in the evening. Some do not.
I had one at 6:30 a.m. this morning send me a message. I was like, I'm not replying to you yet.
Right.
yeah, go back to bed.
But I also think that most 90+% of clients, I think.
Yeah.
Before a certain time in the morning and after a certain time of day, also don't expect you to necessarily respond. I know the majority of clients I've ever worked with, if they've even texted me late or super early. Now, I'm more likely to respond to it early, but sometimes I don't because I think you have to set the boundaries, you have to set those expectations. That's why, even though I'm up at sometimes 11 o'clock at night, 10 midnight, rare times 1 a.m., which is super rare. I don't send emails out. I schedule them to go out.
Yeah.
And I think you have to set those expectations for yourself, and you have to have the time for yourself each day, because you don't get days off, you get hours off, right? Or like in the morning, because phone really doesn't start to ring till about 10 or 11, depending on the day, right? So make that morning for you, for your preparation, for your, those administrative things you have to take care of, those follow-ups you have to take care of. And then you can kind of be in that reactive mode. Like we have to be, unfortunately, in this business, we don't have 100% control of our day, like that cushy desk job you could have taken.
And died sitting on your butt for 40 years. What?
I might have.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm a big fan. I mean, you do goal setting. We'll talk about goals a little bit more and touched on it here. But I know you're a goal setter. I also know that working out is important, things like that. So, that get your day started, that morning routine. Tell me what you already do with that, and then talk a little about how you kind of try and schedule your day.
Yeah,
And then we're
so,
gonna pick it apart.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
not,
so
maybe not during this 30 minutes.
we can schedule another podcast.
Yeah.
We're gonna make this guy look good for future wife.
Yeah,
Just kidding. Good.
phone number in the description.
Okay, now we have to, because he said it.
It will be, don't worry.
So anyway, how
Yeah,
do you what's important to you? Do you have a morning routine that you start your day with?
I do. So right when I wake up, I like to meditate.
Okay.
So I just literally look up on YouTube, like guided meditation, throw in my AirPods, lay in bed sometimes, sit on my couch and just close my eyes and just breathe. I think it's like, I've been doing it for like probably a year and a half.
Okay.
And I found that it really like calms me a lot, especially in the morning. And then throughout the day, like if I get a little overwhelmed or feel pressure, I'll just close my eyes for like maybe a minute, 30 seconds and just breathe, go back to like where I am in the morning and then I'll be good. So and then after that, I usually like to read. I
Okay.
try to read like 10 pages a day in the morning. I didn't get that done today, but I'll reschedule that for night.
We'll forgive you.
Yeah, but I like to read. I try to read like 15 to 20 books a year.
Okay.
So, because I think just knowledge is wealth.
Oh, 100%.
So I like to always learn new things, just expand my mind. So I like to read and then I'll go work out in the mornings.
Okay.
Sometimes it's running, sometimes it's lifting weights.
Yep. I
So,
like that. One
yeah,
of my mentors always told me, and I try to, live this as well, is every single morning, which you basically just said it, is something to get the mind, the body, and the spirit going,
mhm,
right? That eternal drive, that motivation, the knowledge, whatever, just get those things going in the morning. I think you're usually, it's funny, I don't know if you see this, like how much if I do my morning routine, we still have that reaction, but do you feel like you have a little bit more control of your day?
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Just,
I
it
agree
feels,
with you on that.
it gives you the momentum you need every morning too. If
Yeah.
like you could check off those first 3 tasks that you're like,
Right?
yep, I'm good. So, I think it's a great start to the day. And there's actually a great book called, I don't know if you guys have read it, but it's called The Miracle Morning.
I have
by
read it.
Hal
Yeah.
Elrod, I
Yep.
think the name is, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great
What's
book.
that book been out? Because I think I read it.
Before Richie was born.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
You guys make that joke a lot.
No, I read that one and then I just thought of this the other day, but another book, it's an older book. Actually, I studied it in college, so you weren't born yet. Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Oh, yeah.
Still very relevant today.
Yep.
Would highly recommend if you get a chance, go back and read that book. I actually spent, I had a business professor, we spent a half a semester on that book.
Really?
So
That book's actually on my bookshelf, so I gotta
is
read
it?
that one.
It's a really good book.
Yeah.
And then, it talks, I think it taxes from both the personal side of it and of course the structured business side.
And a great book to follow that up is Atomic Habits. So
Yes.
like
I just read that one.
Did you?
actually.
Yeah. Yeah, two great books. I agree.
So we'll get a book club going here soon, buddy.
Yeah, podcast will be on Friday morning. So.
The book club podcast. Anyway, so cool. So schedule right now. The last thing we're gonna do is my question here is, what do you do? Like, you got your structured morning, you got your day going. What if you did one of those days where, hey, the phone's not ringing, you get a quiet day? How do you handle that?
Oh man, it takes a nap.
Yeah.
I would.
He admits it. He's like, yeah.
Sometimes naps are great, but on a quiet day, I still like to follow up and just look at past leads that we've gotten. I don't mind making phone calls, so I'll call them, text them, email them. Might be a little annoying, but yeah, just try and reconnect with people. And I always like to be doing something, which is kind of a little bit of a toxic trait of mine. I can't sit still. So even on slow days like that, I'll always find something to do.
You're aware of this. The world's aware of this. A little bit of a golf nut. I met an agent that down in Florida. I thought that I've never done this, but I really want to start doing this. She would get up, she'd have a great morning routine. I talked to her late about this. She had a great morning routine. She would get all her like calls done, follow-up calls. The afternoon, she didn't have appointments. She would go to her course where she's a member. She'd tell the pro shop desk that, hey, I'm gonna go work in the bar, restaurant, whatever it was. If somebody needs a fourth or just an extra person, let me know, I'll go play. It was a great way for her to network.
Yeah.
And get that downtime of enjoyment. She took her laptop, she'd work from the golf course. Occasionally she'd work the whole time. Occasionally she'd get thrown into a foursome. She's like, I never really tracked it. I can't tell you how many clients I've gotten from that networking. But I always thought it was kind of cool because it was intangible, was something she really enjoyed. And I've never done that. And I want to start doing it, but it seems like we always get caught up with,
Day to day.
just the day to day. But
That is a pretty great idea. I feel like I gotta start golfing with you guys. I don't even have a set of clubs, but
I'm sure one of us might have an extra set.
I don't. I traded mine in.
Oh, I still do. But it doesn't have to be a golf course. You can just go to every Friday morning, go to the coffee shop and sit there and work. And then all of a sudden you're gonna be like, and get something that has, Richie LePine realtor on it, right?
Yeah.
And just be the face every time that same person comes in on Friday mornings to get their cup of coffee. You're always sitting there working. They're like, man, this guy works hard. It's here all the time, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be, the golf course, but find that little niche, right?
yeah.
Places if it's golf, great. And we'd love to golf with you if you want to pick up the sport.
I don't think I could go with you guys. I would be made fun of a little too much.
It's I don't know. I don't
You know
do
what?
that on the
Actually-
golf course.
Actually,
suck.
I went
Only on the podcast.
I went and played with a client yesterday morning because somebody was hungover.
I wasn't even in town.
That's true. Fair enough. Okay, he wasn't in town. He was feeling fine. He could have played. Anyway, but we got matched up with a couple of young guys, actually about your age. Actually, one was 21, the other one was about 21. It's a little younger than you. The one had just picked up golf this year, and I thought it was really smart. His buddy, who had been playing for a year, was actually picked up the game pretty good. He'd hit if you messed up, he'd just pick up his ball and take it up by his buddies. And I thought that was a great way to learn.
Right.
And we didn't. I kept encouraging, like, said, you know what, we're playing this young, because they're like, we feel really bad, we're holding you up. And I'm like, God, you're good. Like, I think you're doing it really smart, but
It's not like he took 20 strokes to get there. He realized that.
yeah, he was really cognizant of it, but I think that's what they were doing anyway, which I thought was nice. You gotta learn. And the best way to learn is to go out and do it, right?
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. So, Richie, we've talked a lot, about where you've been, what you're doing. One of the things is you came from another brokerage up in the Elm Grove area, right? And you decided to join our team about 2 months ago. Is that right?
I think it's just like about a month.
Is it a month? God, time flies. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
does. It's been a busy month.
Yeah, it really has. What made you decide to join a team? What were some of the contributing factors besides Steve and your buddy going, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this? What, we had a conversation when I was on the beach in Orange Beach, and that was in the end of February, right?
Yeah.
So And I think you finally pulled the trigger, yeah, beginning of March, I think it was. So what made you decide to join the team?
Yeah, so obviously Steven was a big part of that, kind of lit a fire under me. He's like, he asked me to join. We met, I think it was at like mid-February probably.
Yeah, I think it was.
And then we ended up meeting here and kind of just having that accountability structure, being with people that are doing deals consistently every week, every month, seeing people who have been successful in the business, like you two, Candace, Gina, Randy, Tim, Steven. It's great to be a part of a team.
Basically, list the entire team of himself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice guy.
yeah. Gotta give credit where credit's due. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great learning experience. I'm kind of I wanna be like a sponge around you guys.
Let me tell you, this guy is a friggin' sponge. Like, come to contract writing or just has a question about, marketing, whatever it is. Like, it's usually one and done where he like does it. We show him once and it's like, oh, this is easy. You got this. So I give you a lot of credit there. You're a great listener. You absorb it really well. So nice job with that.
You've picked, I'm impressed. I've told several people and any future potential clients out there for Richie. This guy sees it once and I give you a lot of credit. You pick it up. Like, I showed you something on the condo thing. Like, dude, this started written really well. She said you done it like once or twice.
Yeah.
You want me to review it? I'm like correcting like little nitpicky stuff that really would be no impact to your client whatsoever, but keeps it nice and tidy. But you're always wanting to improve, which I really like. I think it's really good. It kind of speaks to how you talk about your personal stuff and your goals. It definitely transitions over to work for you. Yeah, you're our sponge. That's a great word.
Yeah, I'm a perfectionist, which is a flaw of mine too. Obviously nothing's ever gonna be perfect, but I try to make it as perfect as I can, and learning from you guys is really good for me. So, yeah.
Awesome. So what are, obviously only a couple years into really real estate, what are your goals and dreams for your career, personal life? Like what are some of your goals and dreams, moving forward?
Yeah, so for this year, I've set a goal of doing 12 deals. So
Okay.
average out to one a month. I've currently got one closing this year. And then I've got 2 under contract right now, writing another offer today. So hopefully that would put me on track for the year so far.
Which at your 12,
I
right?
have a sneaky suspicion you beat it,
I think so too.
but I like the goal.
Yeah.
It's attainable. I think
It's realistic, yeah.
And knowing you're probably gonna want to kill it anyway.
So 12 deals this year, and then is it 24 next year, 36 next year? What is, and really deals really, a lot of people talk GCI or, volume and deals. I think you want to help 12 families. That's awesome. What is it moving forward after that?
Yeah, so obviously I want to just keep growing as much as I can every year. I don't have like a specific like number in mind for next year already. I kind of I want to be present this year and just do the best I can to get to 12. If I don't get to 12, if I get 15, either way, I'll be happy as long as I can keep helping people and just providing value to people. But yeah, down the line, I want to be investing in real estate as well. I know Vince, you own a couple properties. I know you've done it in the past, Brad. And yeah, I want to own a bunch of investment real estate.
So what is that goal? Is that one by the end of the year? Is it one by middle of next year? Have you set that goal of when you're hitting that real estate number?
Yeah, so I would like to. So my first property that I want to get would be a duplex that I live in one half, rent out the other. That would be awesome if I could get that by the end of this year.
That's called house hacking, ladies and gentlemen. House hacking. If you want to learn more, reach out to us. Sorry, this is our plug. Go ahead.
Yeah, so definitely I want a house hack. Hopefully by the end of this year, but like I said, I don't mind living with my parents. Low expenses, low overhead.
Based on your age, also kind of soak that up for as long as you can. That's just a massive savings. It's just gonna put you in a better position once you make that purchase. So
Right.
I like you said, if it happens this year, great. If not, if it's another year, enjoy that. I had the ability to live with my parents till I was like 25. Then I get out. Good job.
Go. All right, we're getting close to the top of end of our show here. Richie, one of the things we did with Steven last week was we allowed him to ask us one question each and kind of put us on the spot. Go for it. What's your question?
So for Vince,
Well, I'm gonna go first this week.
Yes. I was kind of hoping that.
Guys talked about it. Go ahead.
yeah, so what, I know you're investing currently in real estate. What is your favorite asset type to invest in right now?
Multifamily, 100%, right? Like, well, this could be a trick question. So multifamily, either 2 to 4 units. Anything over 4 units gets a little tough from the insurance standpoint and some of the other regulations that you have to be conscientious of. So 2 to 4 family, because if you have one half that all of a sudden you need to remodel or work on evicting a tenant because they have, haven't paid rent for 3 months, you still have some income coming in, right? If you had a single family and you were going through that, now you're figuring out how to come out of pocket for the remainder of that money. But really what's starting to intrigue me is multi-use commercial, okay? I have some ideas, and talking to my accountant on Friday, like I have this vision of buying a multi-unit commercial where we have plenty of office space downstairs, and then upstairs, 1 to 2 bedroom apartments, whatever it might be. Because what I would like to do is have a building that we can put the team in, put a lender in, a title company, maybe a CPA, and then shared office space like Blue Commons here, where someone can come in and be like, hey, I just need to run an office for a couple hours, right? Okay, $10, here you go, right? So that's kind of my next vision. So the great question. That's kind of where I've been looking and trying to, I gotta convince my business partner, banking person, my wife, to go that route. So I have to put together like a 12-page PowerPoint for her. So I'm working on that currently.
CEO of his organization.
Yes, exactly. CEO, CFO, CIO. She wears all the hats.
That's his director of spending money.
DOS, that's me. So that's kind of where I'm at with like the investment side.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then for Brad, so, how can I bring more value to the team?
Ooh,
That's a tough.
I love it.
It's kind of a loaded question.
That is.
That is a little bit of a loaded question. I could go a number of different ways with it. I'm gonna give a very generic answer and I'll try to expand on it. Keep doing what you're doing. And what I mean by that is, we've already referenced it, the sponge thing.
Yep.
Like, always be curious, always want to learn. I know I'm like that. I know Vince is like that. A number of our team members are like that, maybe even all of them. 2, I would say probably, I'll go with my rule. I don't know if I've ever said my rule directly. I learned this a long time ago from somebody that managed me. And I've always done this for anybody I've managed, led, whatever, or just people I work with. Never come to a situation that there's a problem that you need to solve without having a proposed solution in mind. I think that's critically important because that shows that you're willing to think through it. And I'd have people like with a problem come to me that I managed before, and they'd be like, I just don't know. Like, just think of something. I don't care if it's awful. I just want you to hear you think through it. So that was my saying is always bring that to the team situation, not just myself, not if you're dealing with Vince, but just anybody in the team. If there's a problem that you have and you just want to seek advice, just give that person like, well, here's what I've thought to do. Because that really shows a lot that you're like trying to solve your problems yourself, which you already do, I think. But that's one thing I keep that in the forefront of my mind.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Awesome. Everyone, we're here with Richie LePine today. Our newest member, second newest member of the Eagle Homes.
Second newest member, youngest member.
Yep.
Apparently ready to find a lovely lady to spend his time with.
Brad is stuck on making that, like, we're gonna call us eagleHomesMatch.com.
Well, that's on the podcast. We can do that. Eagles Nest matchmaking podcast. We'll do that on Mondays, apparently.
Yeah. I'm Vince Devall with Eagle Homes. Thank you, everyone.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, I love it.
Awesome. I'm Brad Brewer with Richie LePine. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next week. Probably talk Masters and maybe another guest.
Yeah, there we go. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.
Bye.